Arches are a gift for photographers because they allow you to frame your subject, block out unwanted sky, and really concentrate your focus on what you're trying to see in the background. So whenever I see one, I always try and explore it a bit further to see what it can do for my composition. And here we've got not just one arch, but two arches, so there are plenty of opportunities. Now, this is a medieval arch. It's very, very old, and I want to maintain that historic feeling in my photo, so I don't want any cars or anything too modern in the shot. Obviously, there's some fire alarms and signposts that you may want to retouch out later. I'm not so bothered about them, but I am bothered about any parked cars in the distance. So the trick is to just shift your position left and right or back and forth a little bit, and you'll find that the walls of the arch itself can very easily be used to actually cover up unwanted areas. So that's what I'm going to do first, is try and frame something up and see how it looks. So here we have the first arch framing a second arch which frames this view beyond. And when you've got arches, it's very important to move backwards and forwards to see how that perspective shift can actually change the view, especially through this final one here. As I get closer to it, we're going to see more of that building and more of the sky. It's really important to move through the arch and see how that affects the amount of sky and the amount of the subject that you can see beyond it. And also to try out different focal length lenses. You could shoot wide to capture more of the arch that's immediately in front of you, or go in for a more magnified view and just use it as a very thin border around the picture itself, really concentrating on what's beyond. So I can see that there is a car parked in the distance here. I could wait for it to go, or I could just move over to the side. So I've moved to one side of the arch here in order to try and get rid of a car that was in the distance, and in doing so I noticed what I thought was quite a nice composition. I really liked the way that the roof of this house and the chimneys fits into the shape of the arch. And if I was to move the phone higher, you can see how I can make the chimneys almost touch the top of that frame, or I can go for more space down here. And by going to the very side of the arch, we also have this leading line that draws our eye to the back of the view here. And I quite like the way that that looks. And because the sun is coming in and out a lot today, I'm going to take some pictures with the sun and some without, because sometimes it looks nice with shadows and sometimes it's quite nice looking flat here. So in review, this is one of the first pictures that I took with a wider lens, so I could actually capture both arches, the one closer to me, the one beyond, and the view beyond that. Now the view has become quite small and insignificant, but you are drawn to it by the path leading you in, and I like the details around the edges. My favourite view though is this one, where in an attempt to hide a car which is just behind this stone here, I've actually found a really nice framing for this building where I've managed to use the shape of the roof and the chimneys to fit in with the arch around it. Again, because the sun came out, I've got some nice shadow and light detail, and the whole subject is framed very nicely. It would also crop very nicely into a square shape if you like to post that.